You're out of time, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my time when I'm out of time. You're out of time, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my time when I'm out of time. Whoa, whoa. That's what's been in my head all week. Ugh. Not just the song specifically sung with incorrect lyrics. For some reason, I think maybe I sung it like with the wrong lyrics accidentally. And then I was like, that's funny. What if I sung it like that all the time? And by all the time, I mean all week long. You're out of time. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my time when you're out of time. Oh, oh. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Oh, what a great time we have together. Speaking of time, isn't it about time? You shut up! You fucking shut your mouth! Cunt! Fucking shut up! Ewan, are you drawing a baboon? That's also a librarian. That's a funny combination of occupation and an animal with that occupation. How did a baboon get a job as a librarian? That's silly. That don't make any sense at all. That's fucking funny, Ewan. No, I'm not drawing that actually. Actually, yes, I am. Oh, imagine that. Wouldn't that be silly if something. Yes, that's exactly what I'm drawing. Funnily enough, since you ask, as it happens, it's quite funny that you'd ask that very specific question. It's almost as if you knew what I was drawing and you were leading me in to talk about it by asking such a specific question. Is that what you were doing? Were you leading me into to talking about it because you knew what I was doing, but you can't just say, "Hi, Ewan, what are you doing today?" I mean, you could. There's no reason I can't. There's no reason I can't start any/all of my podcasts that way. I mean, I'm talking to myself anyway, aren't I? That's all I fucking do all day, every day. God damn it. Fucking worthless sack of shit. Only joking. I'm not worthless. All of you are worthless. I'm the best. No, I'm not. I can't even draw an alpaca. Can't even draw an alpaca? What a strange thing to say. Don't worry. I'll get to that. We will get to that. We. A bunch of piss will get to that. That doesn't even make fucking grammatical sense. That's stupid. You're stupid, Ewan. Hey, Ewan. Hey there to Ewan. Did you know you're really stupid? You're 1,000 miles away, but hey, today you're really stupid. Yes, you are. I hope you get hit by a car. Ha 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 ha. Oh, what you do to me. Oh, you hit me in the knees. With a car. Sneeze. Oh, please don't hit me with a car. Don't hit me with a car, please. Been hit by a car once before when I was a child. Because my brother told me to cross the road. He was walking me to school and he said, go cross now. And I went, okay. And I woke up having been hit by a car. It's funny old world we live in, isn't it? Brothers that, are responsible for us getting fucking mashed by a goddamn car. Hey, none of this is what I was going to talk about. We should probably talk at least somewhat, at least a little bit, about the baboon. It's not the elephant in the room, it's the baboon in the room. The room, in this case, being a library. What? Why is a baboon a librarian? That's funny. Oh, what an amusing mix of an animal and an occupation and a profession. Hi, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a librarian. Yeah, the library attached to the like town hall bit. Yeah, with the fountain out front by the bus stop. Yeah. But you're a baboon. Surely you can't be a librarian if you're also a baboon. That's incredibly discriminatory. I'll have you fired for saying such things. How dare you, you cunt. Good luck not having a job anymore. That's not. It should be good luck feeding your children now you don't have a job because you were a piece of shit saying how did I get a job as a librarian being that I'm also a baboon. You cunt. Thoughtless, heartless cunt. Not thinking before she speaks. She deserved to be fired. It's a bit silly that they hired a baboon to be a librarian though. I mean, I'm not prejudiced, I'm not discriminating, I'm just saying the fact that they hired a baboon to be a librarian is that maybe they didn't think through, you know, the sort of well-known angry characteristics of baboons, and also they probably don't understand library filing systems and such. Have you seen that little like gif of like a baboon pushing a laptop off of a table? It'll just be that, but in a library. Hi, I'm looking for that book by Richard Dawkins. Do you have that? The God one? That book about the God by Richard Dawkins? And then the baboon just looks at the computer with the system in front of him and goes, pushes it on the floor. Oh, it's funny. How did a baboon get a job as a librarian? It's fucking silliness. Such silliness. So silly. Imagine that. Imagine if a baboon got a job as a librarian. How did he manage that one? Who hired him? God, they should be fired. Maybe the baboon could keep his job if he behaves appropriately. But the person who hired him should be fired. You can't go around just hiring fucking baboons to be librarians. It's fucking nonsense. What kind of fucking backwards world do we live in? Where is this, Alice in Wonderland or something? Where all the animals wear clothes and have jobs. They commute to work and drink coffee. Oh, don't talk to me until I've had my baboon coffee. I'll tell you what. Oh, hi Janice, you going to the Christmas party? Jobs and animals that have jobs in libraries, and they're baboons. It's a librarian baboon. Boop boop. Am I stalling? Yeah, a little bit. I just want to draw this baboon. I really like him as a character. I wasn't intending to, but I've already very quickly grown attached to this librarian baboon. Library boon. No, that doesn't work. Doesn't it, Ewan? I hadn't noticed. This is a library. This is a baboon. He's a librarian baboon. Boop 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 boop. He's got a book and everything. He's got funny little glasses, you know, so he can see properly. He's a baboon after all. He's got. I mean, he's a librarian after all. He's got to be able to fucking see, innit? He's got to be able to see all the books. Make sure they're in alphabetical order on the shelves in the appropriate section. Oh, this is a young adult book. This goes in the YA section, not the kids section. It's about puberty and having periods and shit. This goes in the young adult informational health section. Is that a section in a library? I don't know. I haven't been to a library since I was young. gave a baboon a job as a librarian. Who did that? Someone lost their job. Right, so basically, I was at a loss for what to do for this episode because I don't feel like doing anything because I want to kill myself. But I was like, well, okay, what if I Google search like random occupation generator and then random animal generator in a separate tab, and then come up with some funny combinations of like animals having jobs. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? I came up with some okay ones. We started off this is the first one. It was a rhinoceros. No, it was a dental nurse specifically. Rhinoceros. A rhinoceros. Can you believe that? And in this one I came up with on my own because I randomly generated a bunch of shit ones that I was not interested in at all. It's a proctologist octopus proctologist. An octopus proctologist. An octoproctologist. So he's putting his glove on, but the fingers, because he doesn't have fingers, so it's all fucking silly. And these happen to go together. I chose that just because it sounded funny, octopus proctologist. And then it just happens, he's got a nurse, a rhinoceros to go with him in his proctology job. Then I was going to do a battle, like a thing versus a thing. And then we came up with, randomly generated, an alpaca priest, which is quite funny. I realised I can't fucking draw an alpaca for the life of me. Never drawn an alpaca before. Never tried to draw an alpaca before. And then I tried drawing an alpaca and it turned out shit. And then this was a cat, a carpenter cat. So he's got a hammer. Carpenters use hammers probably. Maybe should have given him like a saw or like a chisel and some joining equipment. I don't know. I should have drawn him as Jesus, shouldn't I? He was a carpenter. Allegedly, I don't fucking know. And there was going to be like, priest, alpaca priest versus the carpenter cat. There's going to be, but then there was shit. Look how shit. And I was trying to draw alpacas, and I was just like, what the fuck is whale dentist? That was randomly generated. That was quite a funny one. A guy in a dentist, and these are shit because they were just it was garbage. There's a little raccoon handyman. That's cute, isn't it? See, some of them are shit. I don't know. I'm going to have to draw over all of this. These, I don't know. Quite like these ones. They're quite funny. But he's a cute little. He's got a tool belt and a hammer, a ball peen hammer. And then I randomly generated librarian baboon, and I was like, oh my god, it's perfect. So I drew this guy. It's like he's pulling down his glasses. He's like, oh, people are talking in the library. And then I was like, oh, this is shit though. So I was going to leave it. As a reindeer reporter, I thought that'd be quite a cool picture if this much of the picture was the actual reindeer, and then there's just really like a lot of attention paid to his antlers and I don't know, whatever. But then I moved on from him because I drew this guy before I drew him. So I drew the librarian baboon, and I was like, okay, let me randomly generate something else. And I came up with a raccoon handyman, so I drew him. I was like, he's pretty cute. I spent a bit more time on him. Whatever. But then I went back to the baboon librarian because I was like, I like that. And baboons are like fun to draw. You can do a lot with them. You could just draw IR baboon, but give him a pair of glasses, and then hey presto, he's a fucking librarian. And then I realised it's giving me somewhat gorilla taxi driver vibes, which is what this is. It's gorilla. You can kind of see his there, gorilla taxi driver. Do you remember gorilla taxi driver? I did a whole thing. Gorilla taxi driver. It was a whole, the old heads know. The real fans know about gorilla taxi driver. I should have the art to show, but I no clue where the fuck it is. I've got so many piles of shit everywhere. I don't know which one of them contains gorilla taxi driver. But who gave a gorilla a job as a taxi driver? Probably the same, like, temp service, job service, finding jobs for people, temporary employment for people service. That gave a fucking librarian job to a baboon! What's going on? What kind of crazy backwards world are we living in where gorillas could get jobs as taxi drivers, baboons could get jobs as fucking librarians? And so a couple more little, like, baboon drivers. I like the shape. It's almost pinnacle. You know, like the sort of face shape of a baboon. It's like this, and then you get like the peen. Your nostrils and mouth, and then just like hair and little ears like that here. And yeah, you can do quite a lot with it. And then, you know, I'm not going to draw them right now because I can't be fucked. But when they scream, they're really like scary and angry. They're fucking teeth and fangs and shit. So I carried it on, and I just thought I'd draw a fun little fucking baboon librarian because he's quite fucking. Look, he's cute. It's fucking cute. Oh, I'm going to look at this. Lobster Robin, Seek and Find, his art book. I know I've looked at it probably multiple times on the show before, but it's really good. I really like it. It's a really good book, man. Also, I'm just in a bit of a Lobster Robin, Robston mood. He's even wrote thanks Ewan and a bunch of shit. Oh, isn't he friendly? Did you know he's in Death Fist? Right at the end. There's Lobster Robin. He's got a little lobster on his hoodie. Hey, there he is. I don't know if he even knows he's in there, but there he's a demon. So that's a nice little thing, isn't it? Oh, sweet. But yeah, he's killing it at the moment, his old lobster boy. Old Lobes. Lobesy Robesy. He's been travelling the world, painting all over. He's put out zines, a couple of zines he's gotten out there, which very, almost genuinely upsettingly, I wasn't able to get hold of for multiple reasons. And I was looking through this the other day, and I was thinking, like, oh, he needs to put out like another art book because he's done enough shit in the last like couple of years to fill an art book easily. But he's put out a couple of zines of his like travelling painting adventures, so he kind of basically has. I know of one person, and he knows who he is, who lives relatively close by, who has both zines, and we have already agreed that when we're able to, he'll let me look through them and like make a video looking through them. Thank fuck. So hopefully we can arrange that. I may even be able to arrange for that in the next sort of week or so, which would be lovely. And then I'll give a full report when I have a video of the zines, if not the zines themselves. I might have to like try to talk my friend into letting me borrow them, so I can like actually do this with them, as opposed to just show a video of me looking through them, because that can be a bit awkward. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I should be able to look through his zines at some point, which will be lovely. Because the work he's been doing lately is really, really fucking cool. He did this tower. It's like shipping crates on top of shipping crates, and then other shipping crates, and he painted like this whole side of them with all these fucking characters. He said one of them has like a big arm, and apparently that was like slightly inspired by me, and that made me smile. Always looking out for me, his old Robin. We like him. He's a good one. He's a good egg. He's a weird egg. He's got fucking arms and legs and a head and shit. It's not much of an egg, is he? That wasn't even funny. I really like these drawings. I mean, this is cool, I guess. Oh, fucking whatever. Oh, I'm going to draw my girlfriend. Oh, he's holding poo. It's a bunch of shit. What a load of shit. Lobster Robin. What a load of shit. Yeah, there's not much I can say about his shit. His his artistic works that I haven't already said. I really like this, the drawing to painting. It's like when you get a picture of a girl in like clothes and then a very, very similar picture. Like if they take a selfie of them in an outfit and then there's a selfie of them naked and they're like in pretty much the same pose in like the same room at the same mirror, and it's like, oh cool, it's like an on and off clothing thing. It's a similar vibe with like drawing and painting, the drawing and the painting, the painting and the drawing. It's the tits. Tits. What is paint? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me with your lobster claws. That was funny. Yeah, you know, his stuff's alright, I guess. Oh shit! Arf! I've somewhat recently been following this guy, and he's been following me back, which is lovely. And I saw his work on Instagram, and it looked so familiar. Like I'd seen it somewhere before, and I couldn't place it. And I think this book is where I saw his work. He paints these dogs, like all kinds of like different shapes and sizes and poses. Well, not different shapes. It's like the same dog, but really, really cool. Yeah, he's a good one. I completely spaced that. Like, that's where I seen him. Lobster Robbins painted with him. That's cool. He's painted a lot as well. I always feel. Oh, let me put a. Oh, that's relevant for something else. That's funny. Oh, we've all felt like that, haven't we? I always feel a little bit silly sometimes when I look through books like this, where I see not just the amount of work people are doing, but like he's painting here, he's painting there, walls and roofs and fucking things and spray painting and stickers and like if I put out an art book, it's like there's some ballpoint drawings, some paintings, and some comics, and they were all done in my bedroom. And you know, I do my work. I do the work that I do, that comes out of me, and it is my work. And some of it's really fucking good. Some of it's really fucking good. But then, you know, I don't have the adventurous spirit I once had. I mean, we've spoken about it a little bit, but you know, I'm a little bit on the sad side emotionally, so I don't really have to get up and go and like do shit. These drawings are really, really cool. I love sections like this in art books where it's not quite sketchbook pages. I love when it's just straight sketchbook pages, but I also love when it's just collections of random little doodles pulled out of various places. Those are fun to see. And the girlfriend, brilliant. Cool lighting, really, really cool lighting. He does have a really good sense of... I mean, he's got a good sense of character, a good sense of colour and design. Great sense of, like when I say colour and design, you know, the contrast between warm and cold colours and then actually having it look glowy as lighting. These are digitally created pieces, I believe. There's a big fucking monkey on the wall! Fucking hell. Size of that fucking monkey. Love these stickers. I think they're really, really cool. I used to make stickers like this all the fucking time back in the day, like college and stuff. I had it set up like an assembly line, or I had a stencil cut for like a character shape that I'd spray paint that stencil onto like blank sticker sheets a bunch of times, like 10, 20, 50 or more at a time, and then maybe another colour on top of that if it was like the outline of a cat suit, like a big puffy cat costume, and then a bit of skin colour in the middle for like where a face would be sticking through the costume. I spray paint a stencil of that on all of them, and then I go with a marker and like do the outlines and details, and then like a white Tipex pen for like, the eyes and stuff, all through like 10, 20, 50 or more stickers at once. And they have a similar vibe to this, because I get the impression that it looks like they're coloured in with markers rather than spray paint. I think he does some like that, but yeah, I like that. Look, that's like Homer Simpson. There's the fucking bull heads and skulls and goats and shit. Really, really cool. I love the shapes of his heads and skulls. Really, really good shapes. That's such a fun skull shape. The floating cigarette. You can't go wrong with a floating cigarette. And there he is. He had a bit more hair back then, didn't he? Making stickers forces me to get to the point. There's no space for bells and whistles. The image is Pig man with a scythe floating through the sky. Pig man with a scythe. Apple of my eye. Pigs might fly. Is art dying, or am I just a gatekeeper? Ooh, thoughtful things to say. I don't know. Maybe shut up and just draw. Doesn't matter. Colours, man. That's the sound of one hand clapping, or alternatively. Yeah, the contrast, the cold and warm with the orange fucking shit. Cool. Yeah, oh, brilliant. Oh, isn't Lobster Robin fucking really good at painting? Mm-hmm. I love his texture. I love his texture so much. It feels gloopy and sludgy. More so in some paintings than others, but I know he's... when I got a chance to speak to him in person, he remarked on how he doesn't like using spray paint for outlines. Like, he'll spray paint the fuck out of a wall, and he will use spray paint for outlines if it's all he's got, but he prefers to use like brushes and stuff, because they give like this varying line weight and this certain texture that you get with brushes that you can kind of get with spray paint, but it is very much not the same. Like, the texture in these is like, it's really, really good. And you can see there's no spray paint used, I don't think. I believe that's all like paint. Yeah, love. And he does sort of similar things I do, where he's got like chunky, wibbly lines and then just blobs of just stuff for texture. See, him and me, you know, we're similar in quite a few ways. That's cool. I really like the shapes in that. Like, yeah, it's a good drawing and the colours are good. It's got a lot of detail. I mean, he does use a lot of detail in his work, but sometimes more than others. And I guess so do I. So does every fucking artist ever. But like all the details in like the creases in the skin and stuff, and there's a lot going on there. The shirt and everything. That's a really good one. Really good shapes. Just, yeah, shapes in general. Lots of like angles and lines and more paintings with that's cool. A white moose, a black wolf, and a basketball court. With two very, like this hoop here, I assume you can see that. It's like a wall with basketball hoops. There's a hoop here with the thing, and that makes sense. But then there's another hoop here, kind of almost randomly. And it's not like it's matched on the other. I don't know, it doesn't fucking matter, it's irrelevant. Fucking shut up. These are cool pages too, where it's just like, it's almost a microcosm of the book as a whole, where you've got photos of paintings and stickers, stuff in the works, just, you know, shots of stuff going down, legs covered in paint, cans and people, whatever, stuff, sites, and then this random sketchbook page thrown in, which is really, really cool. Like I said, really like to see just sketchbook pages. That's what he needs to do next, is put out a sketchbook book where it's just scanned pages of his sketchbooks and loose papers and fucking whatever, but that's what I want to see. Lobster Robin, if you're watching, which I know you might. Sometimes you watch and sometimes you don't, but you know, I get it. I'm not mad, I'm just saying. Really nicely drawn dog heads. Like, I can draw a dog head that's like, this is dog, and you look at it and go, oh yeah, sure, that's a dog, I guess. But then trying to draw specific kinds of dog, it took me fucking forever to draw the Cerberus in the Death Fist comic right at the end, because I don't spend enough time drawing like animals and stuff. And maybe Mr. Robin doesn't either, but he does draw a lot of animals. Maybe too many. Maybe he needs to fucking chill with the painting of animals, yeah? Paint some artistic nudes or something. Expand your horizons, you Belgian bitch. I say that with nothing but love in the world for him. I'm not trying to actually be mean. That's cool. I like that. I love floaty stuff, like having a thing and then a float, and it's good. That was always one of my biggest letdowns in Warhammer. Was anytime you had something floating, you had to have like a stick holding it up, and you could always see the stick. Sometimes, like they'd sell flying stuff with like these clear acrylic like bases with like a clear acrylic stick going into the ass of the miniature, so it looks like it's floating, kind of. And then somewhere along the line, it became more acceptable to just have like a straight black stick holding things up, and you just accept that like it's whatever. And I get you physically cannot make things float unless you use like electromagnets and shit. Then yeah, you could, but it always bummed me out that like you just can't fucking make little miniatures float. Like even little rocks and bullet casings and stuff, they have to be attached in some kind of way, and that always like destroyed the illusion for me, because I can't look at it and see it as a floating thing. I look at it and go, oh, they've tried to make it look like it's floating by using these methods, and it never looks like it's floating. It looks like it's attached to it, and it really, really fucking like it just it's almost anticlimactic. Like you should be seeing it and being like, holy shit, it's floating. It looks so good. It's such a cool painting, and it's floating and shit. But like I look at it and go, no, it's not floating. And of course, it's not floating if it's a physical object. But self-portraits, those are cool, aren't they? They are. Again, I say all this shit. I say so much, and I feel like it sounds sarcastic, and I don't mean it to. I quite like the term Belgian bitch, though. I might use that one again, because he's from Belgium, so it fits, doesn't it? That's cool. But yeah, I love like floating in art. You know, in a painting, you can make something float. Paintings and drawings and things, and you're not necessarily creating an illusion, but that floating becomes part of the art piece. And I feel like I think when it's in two dimensions, you draw or paint something floating, and you go, oh look, the floating is part of the painting, and it works. But then, like a floating hat, for instance. But then when it's part of a physical, like 3D object, the fact that it's designed to look like it's floating takes me out of it in a way. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. More stickers, cool stickers, really cool characters. Love this guy. Love his skull shapes. I think that's like a three-eyed gorilla skull or something. It's fucking cool, isn't it? It's got such a definitive style as well. Like there's so many people that draw and paint skulls, and you know, depending on the artist, you can sort of tell whose it is. But for a lot of people, they draw and paint a skull, and you don't necessarily know the person who it is until you sort of find out, and you go, oh, they painted that skull. Or if you know already, then it's whatever. But someone like Belgian bitch boy Bobster Bobbin, you see a Lobster Robin skull, you know immediately. He doesn't even need to put the little L and the R or whatever. A little lobby lobes, the lobster. Because you just know it's one of his skulls the second you see it. Skateboards! Those are cool. I have a few ideas for that. And I was going to go buy a couple of blank decks. But the skate shop that was in town is now a vape store. Fucking out of nowhere. I bought a skateboard. I have a skateboard. I might have to paint that one because Lord knows it's not getting used as a skateboard because I'm fucking fat and out of shape. Basketball will get me there. Don't worry. So I might paint that skateboard. But yeah, so somewhat recently I bought that skateboard and then went back to the shop and it's a fucking vape store now. Like, cool. I think that happened during the pandemic. It was just, no one was going out skateboarding, so, or buying skateboards at least. And they closed. That's cool. I like that. That's something you don't see very often because that's almost like a full scene. Well, that's something you learn in like illustration is there's almost like only two types of illustration or art piece or whatever. There's a drawing of a thing and a drawing of a scene. So either you're just drawing a thing, an object, a character, maybe a scene, but like a room or just a thing, a gun, a Viking or whatever, or you're drawing objects within a scene itself. Maybe there's not much going on, maybe there's a lot, and you can have it an object within a scene, and then it's debatable on if it's one or the other, or maybe it's a mixture of both. But then that makes it just a scene containing. It's irrelevant. It doesn't mean it. It just is. It's like an observation. That's all it is. But a lot of his work is just objects, almost characters, animals, just stuff. Just a cool fucking shark with a hat. But it's maybe not rare, but you don't often see in his paintings full scenes, and I feel like this is like more of a full scene. It's got not necessarily background, midground, foreground, but it's got like stuff going on. He is setting a scene and there's shit happening. There's almost a story within the fucking whatever. That's cool shapes, cool colours. Like that a lot. I love long necks. There's I can't think of the name now. There's another artist that does that. I think it's Oh No Natalie on Instagram. Really, really like well-known artist, and their drawings are they do a lot of those like long-necked animal human hybrid things. This is funny. I like that. That's cool. I like the long face as well. That's good shape. Good shape of the face. Poseidon! Or is it Neptune? Who knows? Is there a difference between Poseidon and Neptune? I mean, I guess there is, but I don't fucking know. I also don't fucking care. Sketches! These are cool. Again, just individual little drawings. Another fucking monkey! He's got a phone and a face. I love the guts. I love drawing guts myself. And they gloopy textures. He does them really well. Funny little critters and animals and skulls and things. God, he could be a concept artist, couldn't he? Looking back at my 20s, it was a decade of me trying to figure out who I am and what is important to me in life. Searching for the kind of artist I want. See, isn't that funny how I did that bit again? Oh, he's got these really like thoughtful, in-depth little bits of text in his art book. Let's give one a read. Oh, no, I fucked up a page. He didn't want me to do that. He did ask specifically that I keep the book nice. I know you tend to not care about the state of your art books, but please be gentle, okay? Okay, so, since he literally directly requested that I treat his book with a modicum of care, I suppose I can do that. And then just a bunch of cool paintings, I guess. Oh, those are actually really cool. Animals, lizards, fucking bunch of shit going on. Cool shapes, cool colours. Lots of spray paint going on there. Yeah, right, we get it. Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't remember this one. I've obviously seen it, but like... They're really fucking cool. It's like his head has fucking come off and it's all fucking big and bulbous. Like an Akira mutation or something of the sort. This one, I traced this one. I have it on a decent piece of paper, inked. My plan was to paint it, which I sort of still do plan to do. I just, heavens knows when I'll get to it. And see, it's got like these skulls on the spots on its back, and I was going to paint it like pink and turquoise, that sort of go-to colour scheme. So the thing was going to be turquoise with like a pink underbelly, and then like pink bubbles causing like a pink glow from underneath, and then like pink bits here. It looked really, really cool. We've done a couple of collaborations, and we are planning on doing a couple more that I will get to. But cool sketches, cool sketches, cool sketches, more stickers. I love the colour scheme theme stickers. Those are cool. Because that's an interesting art challenge anyway. Take a very specific palette of colours, very minimal palette of like a couple of colours, and then do some stuff with it. And that's like this, but like minimal, funny little characters, little skulls and shit, funny little faces. Yeah, it's cool. And then that fits the... I assume these matching is unintentional, but this painting happens to match roughly the colours of these stickers, so it's cool that they fit together so nicely on a page. And that's a really cool painting anyway. Floating objects, really good example of like floaty objects in a painting looking quite cool, floating in a very aesthetically pleasing manner. I like his use of like paint daubs. Is that a word? Daub, to daub something, D-A-U-B. Daub. Carelessly coat or smear a surface with a thick or sticky substance. I daubed your mum's face with paint, because I was painting her portrait. So yeah, he's sort of like, not necessarily carelessly, but yeah, he's sort of using thick daubs of paint to paint that picture. I'm just trying to get to that fucking painting of a tiger he did. That's like one of the best things he's ever done. These little sculptures, he did a few of those. Those were cool. Good shapes and colours in there. That, I don't know if it was meant for it, but that would make a really good like screen print for a shirt or something. There it is. Yeah, I understand that this was like a commission or something. Just a fucking fantastic painting. A really, really nice painting. Good shape, great colours. And I love the pose of the tiger. Again, like it's floating. I like that it doesn't have outlines. Like the darkest lines are the stripes, and he's used a separate colour for like to highlight them almost, like with a purplish kind of colour. Yeah, and the fact that it doesn't have an outline really differentiates it from a lot of his work. You know, he does do pieces without strict outlines here and there, but for the most part, even if they're sort of subtly coloured, he has outlines and things. So to see a painting from him with no outlines really does make it jump out at you. Orange is a good one as well, because you can get really deep, like rusty terracotta red kind of colours within orange, and then when you highlight it, it does almost glow on its own when you highlight orange. With like purple sort of underneath and around it is really nice. You know, purple and orange match or go well together or whatever, contrast. Fucking whatever. His eyes almost glow. And he's done really well to not paint the fur white. I can barely tell what colour that is. It almost looks like a sickly kind of green colour. A very pale green. Or turquoise. But yeah, because that makes the eyes and the teeth stand out a lot more when they're painted white. Yeah, gorgeous, absolutely, really, really quite a pretty good sort of alright kind of painting, I guess. A couple of dragon boys with the long necks. I like those. I like the lighting in this one, and I like the colours and character of this one. I like that they're both wearing sneakers. I think I'd probably say this every time I look through this book, but I've had this plan for a while to get just blocks of wood and paint like goblins and shit on them, just like this. And the fact that I see this here doesn't necessarily dissuade me from wanting to do the ones I was wanting to do. But it does make me go, you son of a bitch, because he kind of beat me to it in that way. And that's still something I'd like to do, because it would be cool just to have them on like a little shelf, just like a few different sized blocks of wood, different size and dimension blocks of wood with like a little goblin face, maybe some little wooden ears on them as well, like a big fucking monkey face and skulls and shit, like a block of wood painted to look like a skull. It'd be really cool. Feel free to steal all my ideas, I suppose, since I'm giving them all to you. That's really, really fucking cool. Painting not just like I'm going to paint a ball, because you can buy like polystyrene balls in like art supply stores and stuff. But to paint a literal globe, like within its spinning fucking axis thing, with a skull with glowing ooze eyes, that's a really, really fucking cool idea. That's an idea I had not had. And, you know, good on him for that. Love an octopus. Love me some octopus. I did that in one of the collaboration drawings. I did like a squid boy next to whatever the fuck it was he drew. And that's the thing. Again, I've shown them before, but they're right here, so fucking whatever. I've got these original... Some of these are even in the book. These original sketch pages from the man himself, Mr. Robstin Lobstorm. I think this one I might paint, like literally paint on top of this piece of paper, because I think that could be quite a funny little painty paint. I might paint him like Flesh Bob kind of colours, maybe a little bit of like a glow on this side, maybe some background colour here, not all the way, but just like a little bit here, like a little bit of ground for him to stand on. Give him a finger there. I think that could make and that was the point, is for us to do not commissions, to do collaborations. These are in the book as well, but they're coloured digitally. I think I might paint over this one. I might even, I don't know, I was thinking I might ballpoint colour it in with like blues and purples and pinks. It's a funny baboon. But I'm not sure if the black might be a bit overwhelming. So that might work better as a painting. I may even get that photocopied, possibly onto quite a thick paper if I can, so I can have a couple of goes at colouring that in a couple of different ways. See what I can hum up with. Or I might just trace it, as I usually do. Those are cool too. It says penis on his hat. That's funny. And that's fucking that one. That boy in the book. Whole page. Really cool drawing. Coloured with markers and shit. And that's the original piece. Isn't that fucking... Okay. I think this is my new comic. This is the next thing I'm working on. Baboon Librarian. The title needs some work. I've got a few ideas already. This whole thing's just come together in the interim. In the whatever, when you take a break in the middle of something. What do they call that? Like in the... Jesus, I can't remember anything anymore. I'm losing my mind. In the intermission, it flooded in all straight away, fully formed. 8 to 10 pages, a little 8 to 10 page comic, which I now know from... it will people will buy it, even if it's only 8 or 10 pages. Because a lot more people bought the Death Fist teaser than I expected to. Maybe they're just really into the idea of Death Fist, but I was like, oh, I don't know, it's basically a pamphlet more than it is a comic book, but you know, I'll see if anyone wants to buy one. And yeah, like way more people than I expected to were into it. So I think if I do a little one-shot 8 or 10 page Baboon Librarian comic, I think it could be one of my best sellers. And I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's all fun and games, and haha, yeah, do that for your next comic. But then, I mean, that's literally how Death Fist started, and you know, I worked on that quite a bit. So But I'm over Death Fist now. I'm so done with Death Fist. I don't give a shit about Death Fist anymore. Now all I want to do is the Baboon Librarian. It's so perfect because I've got the story and everything. So it'll be no dialogue. There'll be some words, but no actual dialogue. And then so it opens up with like a splash panel of nice and calm, like the guy, the Baboon Librarian, just sat at a desk reading a book, with piles of books and like a desk lamp and like a computer in front of him, books behind him, like in a library. And then it goes into the actual sort of comic, and there's maybe a couple of page montage of him like putting books on shelves, dealing with returns, pointing people in the direction of like where to find some things, picking up a book off the floor. A couple of pages of just Baboon doing librarian stuff. And then it'll go on to there'll be somebody talking too loud or whatever, and so you'll see the Baboon at his desk looking mad, and then he'll get up with like a huff, and then he'll like stomp over to the people and then like look at them and point to a sign, like action shot of him like going whoosh, pointing to a sign that says no, or like quiet in the library please, or whatever, one of those sorts of signs that you see in a library. And then the person will be like, oh shit, sorry. And then Baboon will walk back to his desk. And then he'll be reading, there's library business, whatever. But then somebody's like eating loudly, or just eating in the library. And then Baboon gets angry, stomps over, looks at them, points to another sign that says no food or drink to be consumed in the library. And then the person's like, oh shit, sorry. And then he stomps off back to his desk. And then like a couple of pages of montage of like people talking, people laughing in the library, people eating, people dropping books, making a mess, maybe someone smoking in the library, and then just like interspersed with like the Baboon's face getting angrier and angrier, and then his eye twitching before he erupts and he bursts out yelling and screaming, and then he rampages through the library with like pages going everywhere and books being flung about, and then biting people's faces, tearing limbs off, just going absolutely ape shit, you might say. Because he's a fucking ape. He's a baboon's apes. One of the great apes, part of the great ape family of fucking baboons and shit. And then all hell breaks loose because he's the Baboon Librarian. Oh my god! And that'll be it. Literally like 8 or 10 pages of that. There could be an epilogue, like a single page, like another. It could start and end with splash panels. The first one being him calm reading in the library, and then the second one, although to end, would be him being led out of the library by animal control, with like a stick with a loop around his neck, and him in handcuffs, just because it would be funny, just walking out between two guys in like overalls. To an animal control van outside the library. And that could be because that's funny, and like I say, no dialogue, because it can all be done with like actions and like him looking mad at someone and pointing and then being like, oh sorry, and then him just fucking leaping up over the desk screaming, paper and books flying everywhere, everyone like running away, but him like grabbing people's ankles and pulling them back and jumping onto someone's chest and biting their face, and you can't see it, you can see it like from behind and just see like a blood splurt, and then like pulling off limbs, fucking shoes flying everywhere. Oh, it'd be great. Smashing someone into the returns cart. It'd be a bit of a pain in the arse to draw a fucking a library. But I think that genuinely would make a really funny like little comic. It'd be fun to draw. It's fun. It's a funny premise. And and with no plans to like turn it into anything bigger than that, just to keep it as Baboon Librarian. The companion piece to the Gorilla Taxi Driver. Whatever happened to the Gorilla Taxi Driver? Oh, you haven't heard. You haven't heard of his cousin, the Baboon Librarian. So yeah, I think that's going to be my next project. Theoretically, I mean, I always, like basically without fail, I'll say like, oh, this project's like quite small. I could have it done really quick. I could get it done in a couple of weeks, and then it's months and months and months before it ever gets anywhere. But 8 to 10 pages, and a front cover, and then just like some sketches for the back cover or whatever. This guy. I could do that in a month, easy. I could rough it all out in a day. I could go to a coffee shop, get a hot chocolate, little snack, just sit down and just do thumbnails for the whole book within the whole book, like it's a book. You know, I could do thumbnails for 8 to 10 pages of comic in a couple of hours at least, at most probably. Wouldn't take that long at all. And then yeah, spend a couple of weeks on it, get it printed up, shipped out, easy, fucking easy. I mean, I would want to make it good, but like, it would be one of those ones where there's clearly pages I spend loads of time on, and then some pages I just get done quickly. Of course, you'd think if it's only 8 pages, I should have time to do them all good. Spend time on all the pages, Ewan. Why wouldn't you? Because I don't fucking care as why, you piece of shit. No, I do care. I'd want it to be good. And I think it would be good, like, without me even trying to make it that good. Because it's difficult because on the one hand, it's a silly little comic about a baboon librarian who goes schizo and, you know, fucking destroys everyone in a library. So it doesn't need to have like loads and loads of time and effort spent on it. But at the same time, it's the sort of thing that if it has some decent time and effort spent on it, it could be a really, really fucking great little comic. Imagine if that's the thing that like gets me noticed, gets me awards and publishing deals and stuff. This shitty little fucking 8-page comic about a baboon in a library. I mean, it's the sort of thing that like people relate to libraries and that kind of shit. If I do a comic about a Grim Reaper with a giant fist, who's relating to that? It's a bit of fun. The artwork's amazing, but you know, it's whatever. But a library and a little baboon, oh, everyone likes that. I don't know. Every idea that I'm talking about right now formed in my head in minutes or less, in seconds, between recording sections of this video. And the awards aren't the point, man. The point is just it'll be a really funny little comic. I could do a couple of pages a day easily. Some days I'll just do 1 page. Some days I could probably do a couple. You know, I've got the like Gun Viking issue 6 stuff on my notice board currently because I figured now Death Fist's the main part of Death Fist is out of the way. The first chapter. You know, I could work on the next chapter of Gun Viking. That could be cool. But I might have to quickly, before I get into that, I might have to get this thing done because I think this would be really funny. Also, it could just be fun to draw a fucking